When results are generated, you can view them in the final report section. Final report, or you can simply say end of term report, is where you can view all your report cards as a student, as a teacher, as a parent, as a manager, and even as an admin. So in this case now I'm an admin, so there's some other advantage to what I view here. So in this case, admin can view report cards for all the entire school. To view report cards for the entire school or for a particular term, you first have to pick the term that you are dealing with. So far, when you load this page, nersapp try to load the current term that is being set. It will check if there are any report card within this current term. If there are, it will pick the term. If it picks the term, it will load classes. And if there are classes with report card, you will see them here. If there are more than one, or if there are one, it will pick the first one, in this case here, and load the report card. If I cancel out now, no report card is showing here. So if I click on the class now, it loads report card for this class. When nersapp load report card for this class, you see the session and term the class, you see the class average, you see the students in that class, in this case 3 students. These are the students in that class, and what happens automatically is that when you load for this class, nersapp will pick the first student and load his or her report card. To load for the rest student, you only need to click their names here, and it will switch this environment to load for the next student. You can click here, it switches and load for the next student. Take note, because in your browser the system had loaded the first one, Naomi and Fikabo. When you try to click them again, they tend to load faster because the record had been stored in your browser. It doesn't have to go straight to the server to retrieve the information again. So let's go and look at this environment properly. At the top section here, when report cards are loaded for a class, you can see here, as an admin or an approved manager, to access final report files, you have to click enable public view if you need this report to be available to students and parents. Next one. Also again, before you switch to the next term, or you want to do promotion for your student from one class to the next, you have to ensure to always lock the report card. In this new version of nersapp, locking and unlocking report card is very simple. If you lock a report card to do promotion and there are issues, all you need to do is to come and unlock this report card from here. You no longer need to call us for intervention in case you make a mistake in your work. To save these settings, for instance, you made it available for public use, you just simply have to click here and the students can start accessing it from their end, or parents. To delete this report card, ensure that it is not locked. Any report card that is locked cannot be deleted. For instance, if I lock this report card here and I attempt to delete it, it fails because the report card is locked. I cannot delete a locked report card. You might decide to print the entire report cards for this number of students or for all students in this class by clicking on the bulk print. Bulk print will attempt to load all the report cards in one page, which allow you to save this to a folder in your system, or you can simply initiate Ctrl P to print this report card. Below it, you see the report card session, term, class, and the information regarding the student in terms of class average and student average. Beside it, you see that currently what you are viewing here is the detailed information regarding the student report card here. And you can also see the graphical information, which is this information here. You just need to switch between info and design, or info and graphics, and you see the different set of information here. To print this student report card, you can print it from here. To search for a particular student, for instance, because these students may be like 30 or 40 of them and they are arranged horizontally. Search for a particular student, just need to type the student name here. For instance, we say we're looking for, say, Chinedu. Alright, so let's access this report card. As you can see, this student called Naomi, this is her full name, this is her ID and her class. She has a class manager. If she has a class teacher, use the teacher's information here. So in case for parents, you might need to make call or probably talk to them or write them. But this is the academic manager, more like a principal or headmaster or headmistress or someone in charge of the school level called nursery school. So you see the information, the calls can be made, a message can be sent. Below it, you see detailed information regarding the student report. For instance, the performance of this student can be seen via one rating. In this case, the student scored 4.33 out of 5. So that's why you can see it this way. The status here says the student passed. This information can be tweaked in the broadsheet by the admin or a privileged manager. The attendance information is also shown here. The punctuality. We also took the liberty to add what we call a badge. A badge gives you a status of performance and information regarding that status. For instance, this badge is called general. I mean, we liken you to be a general because of your performance. To read more about what that means, simply says that general, oh, your victory is second to none. We really applaud you, Naomi, for the wins, more wins and more victories. So different performances would pop up different badge and information. Below it, you see the class average for that class is about 85.6. You can also see the highest student average there. That means in that class, someone scored this level of performance and someone scored the least here. For the student average is about 86.5. This student average is comprised of both the average of the grades, that are subject grades, behavior skills, and attendance. The school might decide to check what and what should be considered for calculating student average. You can decide to say, okay, to calculate student average, system simply use only student grades, or use only behavior, or combine behavior and skills and grades, and even combine attendance. So there is that feature in settings that allows school to check what can be used to calculate the student average. So for this student here, you can see here, this is the highest subject score the student had. I'm sure it is in mathematics, he scored 86. The lowest subject score was 63. That's integrated science. In this type of school or nursery school, there is room to allow position to be shown and also grade position. Below, you get a cognitive domain information based on the subject the student offered, their performances, the grade, the remark, and some other information that could be shown there. This is the total score of the student, and this is a small mini graph of the student performance. Below it is a grade key that was used for calculating the student assessments and the grade assignments. Below again, because this school does behavior and skills, so there is behavior information and the different rating that was set there. And this is the total score for the behavior, and this is the behavior keys. Below also we have the skill information and the rating appropriately, the total score for the skills and the rating. Below there's also comment for the student. Here we have class manager comment, or you can call it class educators comment, or you can say class teachers comment. We also have the academic manager comment. So this information can be tweaked by the admin or by the school if there is need for such behavior. To view the graphical information, you can see for Naomi, this is her bar chart showing her performances at different subjects. This is also a comparative performance of Naomi with respect to the best score in that class for the different subjects, the least score, the average score, and Naomi's score. For instance, you can compare Naomi's score with the best score. Let's assume Naomi, in this case orange, or the person in that class that had the best score, the color is in blue. As you can see, the best score was 78, Naomi scored 75 in English. So that means someone actually scored higher than Naomi. In mathematics, Naomi seemed to be the best in that subject. In integrated science, the best score is 77, Naomi is 63. So someone seemed to score higher than her. In fine art, the best score is 93, Naomi is 73. So that's how to compare. You can also compare her with the least score to know if she's the one considered as the least in that subject or she is better. You can also consider her with the average score performance by comparing her performance with average performance in that class, or you can simply compare with all of them. For schools that does behavior recording, here is a spider chart that gives you the different performances for the different domain. For instance, you have punctuality. The student had 100% there, so he's at the top of it. He had the best there. But for, say, honesty, he had like 80, and here it's 100, 100, 100. So he tend to be doing well in most of them. I scored 100, then most of them he scored less, like 80. Like this one is 60, one was 80. Same thing applicable to skills here. And lastly, we have the performance comparison. This is very crucial if you need to compare your child's performance or the student performance as against every other performance in the school. Take note, this is Naomi's performance, this is her ID, these are the rest students. We didn't show their name there. You just want to compare your report with the rest. You can see here Naomi scored 86.5, someone else scored 86.5, someone else scored 83.9. So Naomi seems to be doing good with someone else. In fact, they are doing great in this. You can also click Naomi's performance to see detailed performance of Naomi in terms of subject grades, behavior, skills, and attendance. The reason why we are seeing this for information is because for this class here in the report setting, it was said that performance of a student should be done by adding the subjects, the behavior, the skills, and the attendance information. So as you can see here in subject, she scored 74.5 in terms of performance. In behavior, 87.5. In skills, 87.5. In attendance, 100%. So that's what gave rise to her 86.5% here.